Hi everyone, welcome to Best Recipes with Sharon. The recipe that I'm sharing with you today is for an easy tuna macaroni casserole. This is well complemented with cheese and seasonings. You'll enjoy this as another one of those comfort foods. So alright, let's go ahead and make this together. Here there is a few simple ingredients, and I'll show you what they're all about and how much to put in. Start with a medium-sized saucepan, add some water to it and sprinkle some salt in. You'll need a box of macaroni and cheese. And yes, this is just a box of KD. It's looking pretty easy, isn't it? Basically just start by cooking it according to the package directions. Just cook the noodles until they're tender and still a little bit firm, so about 7 minutes. And of course use a large spoon and stir it every once in a while so that the macaroni doesn't stick to the bottom. And while you're waiting for the macaroni to cook, grate some fresh cheddar cheese. And you'll need enough for about 1 cup of shredded cheese. This will be used to put on top of your casserole. Now butter the sides of a 2-quart casserole dish. And then make sure that you have your tuna ready and opened, and make sure that it's nice and flaky. And you'll also need a can of cream of mushroom soup. Now back to the noodles that are cooking on the stove. Time is up and they look like they're cooked well. So I'll put them into the strainer and drain off all the water. Then return the macaroni to the pot. Now then, here are the ingredients to make this into a casserole. Add half a cup of butter. Then 3/4 of a cup of milk. And yes, go ahead and add the powdered cheese from the envelope. Then take a large spoon and mix that in until the cheese is thoroughly combined. And now add 1 can of cream of mushroom soup. Then add 1 can of flaked tuna. Now take your spoon and once again stir it in until it's really well combined so that all the flavors are well distributed. Now the texture of this will seem like it's a little bit soupy, but that's because it's going to be going into the oven and it will thicken up quite nicely. Take this and pour it into your prepared casserole dish. And using your large spoon, spread it out so that it's all even. Sprinkle 1 cup of shredded cheddar cheese on top of your casserole. One cup is about the right amount. Just make sure that you get it into the corners and that it's spread evenly so that each piece has a little bit. Because you just need enough of it to accent it and not to overpower your casserole. Now the next step is optional, but you can sprinkle it with about 1/3 of a cup of fine breadcrumbs. You can also mix the breadcrumbs with a little bit of butter to make a little bit of a crumble and sprinkle that over top. And that will cause it to be a little bit more crisp, so it's up to you what kind of texture you want. Now then we'll need some parsley and we'll need some dill weed. Use approximately half a teaspoon of dill weed sprinkled over the top like this. And for the parsley flakes, use about a tablespoon sprinkled over the top. What do you think? Looking pretty good. Ready to throw it in the oven and bake it now. So the oven will need to be preheated to 350 degrees. Now place your casserole on the medium rack in that 350 degree oven. Then set your timer for about 20 minutes and that should be all it takes. So now the time's up, we'll pull it out of the oven and it's ready to enjoy. And as you can see here, the cheese is nicely melted and it's slightly golden on top. So this is a recipe where you take just something simple and turn it into something much more spectacular. And it's more nutritious and flavorful. So does anyone want some? Does that make you want to grab a plate and enjoy a generous helping? I hope so, because now you have the recipe and you can make your very own and share it with your friends and family. I hope you enjoyed today's recipe, and until next time, happy eating!